Alright, cool. So, back here at LAX. Today's flight's going to be on board Allegiant. And honestly, I've never even heard of them previously until I started this channel. We're going to be going from Los Angeles to Bellingham. It's a quick two-hour trip. Last time I was here, we were at the Tom Bradley International Terminal, and I spoke about how the terminal got its name. This time, I'll give you a couple more facts about this place. Construction for this place originally began in 1926, and a real estate agent named Henry Mines suggested the location for the place. Originally, it was called Mines Field Airport. Then, after some time, in 1928, October 1st, 1928, exactly 63 years before the day I was born, LAX was officially opened as an airport. Anyways, let's go check in and get through security and check out more of Terminal 1.
Once inside the airport, I made my way towards the check-in counters for Allegiant Airlines, as there were no self-check-in kiosks. Once at the counter, I was advised to check in online, as there was a $5 fee to check in at the counter with an agent.
As you see, if you wanted to check in at the counter, it costs $5. There are no self-check-in kiosks, and everything needs to be done online, which is cool. But as you saw, if you wanted to print the boarding pass, there was no option to just download the boarding pass to your phone unless you have the Allegiant app. You can either print the boarding pass or download the app and get it to your phone. Anyways, let's go through security and take it from there.
At this point, I realized that there was a third hidden option for the boarding pass. You could just take a screenshot of it and save it on the phone, which would avoid having to download the Allegiant app or print a physical copy.
Jackets, belts, put into the bin, please. Thank you, sir. Good job. Cool, you good. You good to go. Perfect. And then try to lay your
Bag on the side. Alright, made it past check-in and security. Let's go to the gates and check out this terminal.
Alright, so once you're past security, you make your way through this hallway that takes you to the gates at Terminal 1. The first things that you're greeted with are cafes and restaurants. A food court is present with a variety of different fast food options.
+1 airport.
As you continue down the hallway towards the gates, there's a bar. A rock-themed bar.
+1 Scareport.
Moving on, lining both sides of the hallways are a few shops, mostly fashion retail stores and a few general stores.
+1 airport.
There was another bar at the end of the hallway, and when I got here, I realized something that put an end to my exploration of Terminal 1.
Yeah, overall, pretty cool terminal, but this is not where I need to be. I need to go by gate. So, as I was saying, I need to get to gate 209. And I see the transfer over there. It wasn't the most clearly marked, but I found it. And yeah, let's make our way to gate 209.
Alright, so this week's airport or Scareport is gonna get cut off short here because I wasn't flying out of Terminal 1 as I originally anticipated from the emails I received from Allegiant, but rather the gate got changed to gate 209, which was in the Tom Bradley terminal. So I didn't really have enough time to dig into Terminal 1 and all the features at Terminal 1. So we are going to continue this at a later point. Anyways, let's get back to the airport now and make our way to gate 209. I made my way towards gate 209, which was slightly further than I anticipated it to be. I got on the bus that would first take us from Terminal 1 to the Tom Bradley terminal, where gate 209 was. Once at the Tom Bradley terminal, it was off to gate 209.
Almost here at gate 209. This is where we took the Air France flight from last time. So right next to the Burger King. I guess you know what's for breakfast then. Let's do it. Alright, so time for a little food break. And then off to the gate for boarding. Back to the gate now. Gate 209. Let's do it. Alright, cool. So here at the gate now, and the flight is here. People are just getting off, so I'm sure boarding's going to start here shortly. Unfortunately, I can't get a cool photo of the aircraft that we're about to board, but yeah, let's check out how Allegiant is on board.
Boarding was organized and done in zones. After the final boarding pass scan, we made our way towards the Airbus A319 that would take us from Los Angeles to Bellingham. Before getting on board, I noticed that there were a few awards on display, not for Allegiant Airlines, but rather their rewards credit card. I then made my way onto the aircraft to a warm welcome and made my way to the seat for the morning. The seat on board this Allegiant Airbus A319 was fairly basic and reminded me a lot of Spirit Airlines. The knee space was okay, it wasn't horrible, and the legroom below was decent as well. The seats were pretty firm and didn't offer much in terms of padding. The seats looked very retro as well, featuring this very utilitarian tray table. The seatback pocket contained the safety information card, a barf bag, the Allegiant Air Non-Stop Life in-flight magazine, and a flyer for the Allegiant Always credit card. The overhead panels contained individual AC vents, individual reading lights, as well as the call for attendant button. Overall, the cabin was pretty basic, as one would expect from a low-cost carrier. It was then time for us to depart from Los Angeles and make our way northwards towards Bellingham. Minutes after takeoff, the buy on board meal service commenced. As you can see in the menu here, there was a variety of snacks available for purchase on board. Also, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages were available to buy on board as well. What I would have liked to see is the option to buy something more than just snacks on board, such as sandwiches, bagels, or smaller meals. The lavatory on board this Allegiant A319 was of a decent size, definitely not as tiny as the one on board modern 737s. The overall design was also fairly basic, but certainly an upgrade compared to the plain and bland design on newer low-cost carrier cabins. The sink was also of a decent size. Amenities included soap, napkins, tissues, toilet seat covers, and an air freshener. Fixtures included a power outlet, an AC vent, coat hook, ashtray, and a baby changing station. There was no Wi-Fi on board this Allegiant Airbus A319, and consequently no entertainment portal that could be accessed via a mobile device. It was then time for us to make our approach into Bellingham Airport. Alright, so my overall experience on board Allegiant was pretty positive. The hard product was fairly basic, similar to other low-cost carriers in this region, but the seats didn't feel as congested as some of the other low-cost carriers, such as Spirit Airlines. As for the soft product, the crew on board was pretty friendly, definitely a lot friendlier than some of the other carriers in the United States. The only main thing that I found restrictive about Allegiant is that they don't operate routes to a lot of major airports in the United States. This flight is a great example of that. In Washington State, the only airport they fly to is Bellingham, which is about an hour to a 2-hour drive away from Seattle. And it's a similar story for other states as well, where they don't always fly to the major city or the major airport in that state. As for cost, it was fairly comparable to airlines such as JetBlue, Delta, American, and so on. So given the flexibility and convenience that the other airlines offer in terms of destinations and airports that they service, it's hard to justify Allegiant over some of these other carriers, unless they offer service to the exact airport that you want to go to. And even then, if Delta or JetBlue are priced similarly to Allegiant, I would still prefer flying with them over Allegiant, as they provide a slightly better value overall. Anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys now. What have your experiences on board Allegiant been like? Have they been similar to mine? Would you recommend them to someone? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like content like this, then consider subscribing, as I'll be releasing weekly videos of airlines from around the world. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.